Welcome back. Governor Jared Polis is holding off on signing a new property tax bill that passed in a special session. The bill includes $255 million in tax cuts. That's on top of a $1 billion tax cut passed earlier this year. It will also add new caps to how much tax revenue local governments can bring in each year. But Governor Polis says he's going to only sign the bill once two conservative tax measures are removed from the November ballot. That deadline is coming up. It's this Friday. Joining me this morning to discuss this is our 9 News legal expert, Whitney Traylor. Thanks so much for coming in.
Sure thing. We're talking a lot of numbers here.
It is a lot of numbers, but you're going to make it all easy for us to understand, right?
Okay, no pressure.
So first, talk a little bit more about why a special session was necessary and what they were trying to accomplish.
Yeah, well, as you said in the lead-in, they were talking about they needed a special session because the legislature's only in session January to May, and so they wanted to do something before the November ballot because there were these two initiatives on, Initiative 108 and Initiative 50, that would have significantly cut property taxes, which would have been great, but it would have resulted in a serious downfall as it related to education and fire districts and things like that. So they wanted to come in and try and address the property tax issue because since the Gallagher Amendment was abolished in 2020, property taxes have gone up, and particularly the last 2 years significantly. So they really wanted to kind of head off this property tax issue going into 2025. So
they did pass some new legislation.
Yes.
How will this impact the new laws when it comes to property owners?
Yeah, they passed two bills essentially that the governor is expected to sign but hasn't signed yet. And essentially these will reduce the assessment rates for most property owners over the next few years. So for commercial rates, it would go down from 29% to 25%. Residential essentially is 7.15 right now to 6.25. And it's really interesting, and let me just read off these counties real quickly. The median home prices in Denver, $709,000, which is really significant. So this will be about a $250 savings for those folks. Adams, the median is about $556. That'll be a $330 savings. Garfield, the median's $540,000, so that'll be about $188 savings if the governor signs these.
Now, he has until, I guess they have until Friday to drop these off the ballot for November, right? And that's kind of what he's holding off on signing these, right?
Right, that's what he said. He said, look, and it was these conservative groups that put on these initiatives 108 and 50, and he said, look, if you withdraw these initiatives, then I will go ahead and sign these laws. And it looks like they will because the proponents of these initiatives were part of the negotiations in the 4-day special session, so.
There was so much worry surrounding this, not only fire departments, obviously, they're like, we need the funding and, education, but also like property owners were like, oh my goodness, this is going up so much. It's so expensive. People on fixed incomes, Right. So this sounds like it addresses a lot of those issues without putting it before the voters.
Yeah, I think that's right. And it's a bipartisan bill, so it passed with very few dissenting votes. And that's exactly right. The one issue was, hey, these initiatives are too aggressive. And some people are criticizing it and saying, well, you should have put it before the voters anyway. The voters will figure it out. But the legislature, the governor, a lot of folks were worried, hey, if this passes, it would be such a significant hit because our property taxes go towards schools, the fire districts, and other necessary services.
Yeah.
And so here what they're saying is, well, we think we've struck a nice balance in that the property taxes can only go up so much over the next few years, but it still allows for these services to be provided for. Now, it may be about $100 million shortfall, but the state budget will fill in that $100 million, and they think they'll probably pull that from higher education and Medicaid. So there'll still be a hit, somewhere, but not as significant as it would have been.
Money doesn't grow on trees. You got to find it somewhere, right?
Right.
So they'll figure it out. Well, we'll see what happens comes Friday.
Right. They have till September 6th, and everybody's indicating that they said that they're going to withdraw it. I don't know where that process is. That's simply writing a letter to the Secretary of State, and then the governor said, yeah, he would sign these bills once that happens.
I'm sure you'll be following it, as always.
Yes, I will.
Whitney, thank you so much.